Ugh, my head. Feel like I got the once over by an 18-wheeler. What time is it? Where am I? How long has it been? Oh, um, I should have given Bear that raise. Well, we're here now. Let's do this. Why don't my legs work? John Woo would be proud. This series is distilled gun fu. Here's what I mean. Yeah, tell me that isn't awesome, and I'll call you a liar. Max Payne.
They were all dead. The final gunshot was an exclamation mark to everything that had led to this point. I released my finger from the trigger, and then it was over.
From noir, detective revenge story, to NYPD mob war, to private security incompetence. The thing that sticks out the most to me is the writing. I get the feeling this story is being told to you in a smoky bar in the late 30s. Sam Lake's writing is majestic. I wish I could come close to being as articulate in my own writing. Oh, and the voice acting.
So I guess I'd become what they wanted me to be. A killer. Some rent-a-clown with a gun who puts holes in other bad guys. Well, that's what they had paid for, so in the end, that's what they got. Say what you want about Americans, but we understand capitalism.
See, now that's some bullshit.
Yeah, Americans don't understand economics either. But that's not really the point here. James McCaffrey lends his chops to Max Payne and slays every line the man is given. Rest in peace, you magnificent bastard. Let's take a peek at this adrenaline rush of a series. Developer Remedy was mulling around the idea of a third-person shooter in the late 90s after the success of Tomb Raider. Interestingly enough, they had no enthusiasm in dealing with the camera system that it had. Where the fuck am I? It bounced around for a while. Originally to be released the summer of '99, it was delayed for some more cooking to become the atmospheric PI revenge story it would take shape to be. Our man, Sam Lake, was the game's story and scriptwriter, crafted this psychological masterpiece. From small-time gang wars to grand military conspiracy, Sam's writing goes places. Game was released in 2001 on the PC and was ported to the PS2 and Xbox in 2002, with the help of Rockstar. They're the IP holders now, and they'll continue to be a part of the series to this day. They will come up again later in our little retrospective here. Our story is told in an awesome comic book fashion. Detective Max Payne is chatting with his friend, Alex, who works with the DEA. Alex is trying to get our boy to come work for him. Max declines. Give it a week. Well, this is a dark noir story, so tragedy has to hit within the first 5 minutes. Max gets home to his family murdered by junkies that had broken in. The individuals were on a new drug, and shortly after, Max starts working with Alex in the DEA to uncover the trade surrounding this new designer drug. 3 years later, our man is undercover with the mob, and we would get word that we would need to meet Alex at Roscoe's subway station, and the game begins in earnest.
Next stop.
So we're looking at a third-person shooter. Max is slightly off to the left, and your crosshair is this little doobly in the middle. You're not going to be popping precise shots with this crosshair. It's just a guide here. Max is a decent shot, but be ready for rounds to spread out. One cool thing is that all the bullets are rendered in-game. We got jumps, we got dodge rolls, but that's not what this game is famous for. This is. What the? It was 2001, and bullet time was so in. And before Fear, Max Payne was that game. It has its own dedicated button. Sitting still will slow down time for as long as you have meter. Moving while hitting this button will cause Max to jump in that direction in a slow-mo dive. Great for dodging and looking badass. The environment reacts to the bullets flying and the explosions taking place. The amount of detail in this game from 2001 is why it feels so good to engage in these firefights. This was a game that 3D Realms was attached to, so there's plenty of environmental details to play with. The ability to carry every weapon you pick up, very helpful for later encounters. Now, when you're flying around like Neo, you are inevitably gonna catch some lead. The AI is great at leading their shots and filling you full of holes. So, this depletes your health. Great, right? So, we need to do something about it.
The pills would hold the pain back for a while.
Good old opioids! That's right, kids. Pump enough painkillers in you, and you too can keep going in a firefight. Warning may cause addiction, depression, irritable bowel, and badass quotes from the pro tag. Ask your doctor if pill abuse is right for you. Side effects may include. So, take the interactable environment, great writing, adrenaline-fueled firefights, and pill popping, toss that shit into a blender with the dulcet tones of James McCaffrey. We get this satisfying running gun that feels like a mixture of a boom shoot and the third-person shooters that would.
The style at the time.
Yes, I shamelessly stole that bit. Fucking fight me. So as you're running and gunning, you're gonna notice by a couple levels in, you're gonna start getting blown the fuck away. Now, Max isn't exactly a tough guy. A few bad shots, he's going down anyway. However, the difficulty of the game is changing. Yep, adaptive difficulty. It's cruel and unusual here, though. As you play better, the enemies will get tougher, more accurate, and Max will get weaker, less accurate, less ammo from drops, and less bullet time from kills. It's punishing you for playing the game. Honestly, it's the one design choice I'm not too fond of. I don't have an issue with enemies getting better, but why gimp Max? I do have a solution for this. There's a mod that changes the adaptive difficulty, but uses the number from the mobile port. That's lame and way too easy, so I made it this. Still a good challenge, but Max stays the same through the entire game. Enemies will still get tougher, and honestly, they're accurate enough at base. Try this, and feel free to change whatever you want. Stick the dock into your data folder, and boom. Now, there are other difficulties and challenges you have with this game, but you won't have any of these until you beat the game the first time. So I kind of went over the beginning earlier. Max's family is murdered. He joins the DEA out of anger, looking for revenge on the drug purchasers that caused his misfortune. 3 years later, he gets a call from one of the other contacts in the DEA, BB. He tells him to meet Alex at Roscoe subway station. Of course, it's a setup. Bank robbery at the same time. Odd coincidence. Then Alex is blown away by a trenchcoat figure, leaving Max to take the fall.
No, it's locked. We gotta get out of here. If it's Lapino, it's... Alex? Alex!
What follows is a roller coaster of vengeance on the fools who thought this man wouldn't shoot dodge his way through them. Mobsters, personal security, mercenaries, special agents, all fall to the sheer anger and determination of a man that channels hard-boiled in everything he does. Papers flying, sparks from bullets flying into electronics, glass shattering from under the gunfire. I'm not gonna spoil these games in this retrospective. You are gonna play them. I'm in your walls. Do it. Bear, tell him. This game is a great start to the series. It knows what tone it wants to hit, and it goes straight for it like a cruise missile. Max is an unabashed badass, who adds flavor to everything he says and does. The comic book cinematics are interesting and make you feel like you're looking through a detective comic from the 30s. It's got a character you don't get from many games, and I wish I had experienced it way back in the day. So, I'm gonna have to cover this in parts. I still can't feel my legs, and I hear something growling behind me, and I'm not sure what it is. If I survive, I'll be back with Max Payne 2. Oh no. Okay. Okay. So, down an arm, but I believe we've come to an understanding. And that understanding is I still have my boomstick. And I took a hostage. This nut, and a new editor for now. Name's Eva. I've always wondered whether it was better to be feared or respected. Well, as long as I have a puppy and a hostage, I'll never have to choose. When we last left off, I had been introducing you to the glory that is bullet time, opioids, and depression. This time, we continue that trend. Bear? Truce? I swear, you little bastard, we will end it here. Max Payne 2. The Fall of Max Payne. Yeah, that's a goddamn mouthful, and the last time I say the name fully. So, 2 years after the success and money the first game made, Remedy became a real player in the game industry. Sam went back to the writing table, penning a direct sequel to the events of the first game, had the funds to hire new staff. Max looks different. Yeah, it's no longer Sam's mug. Instead, Timothy Gibbs filled the role. Rather than a dark revenge story with some Norse mythology tossed in for flavor, we get a gritty story about love, mob wars, and loyalties. If the first game was riding the noir train, the second game is the conductor. How the story is told is the same. The comic book panel cutscenes are back and honestly look great. The artwork is impressive. The game ran on a different engine than the original, leading to goofy shit like this. Oh, the Havoc engine. Never change, you handsome son of a bitch. Released in 03 on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, the game got rave reviews. Some say it's one of the best games ever made, and I can understand that sentiment. This is an amazing game, and if you want to talk sequels, this is a fan-fucking-tastic example of how you do it. Bigger, badder, more of what works, fixing what didn't. Let's get into it. After the shenanigans that was the first game, it's been 2 years since that first dose of pain. And Max is back into his old grind of NYPD detective. While cruising town, he hears a call out of shots fired at a warehouse owned by a friend. Hey, I can't judge a guy's friends. My best friend is an editor with no thumbs who threatens me on a regular basis. Don't look too far into that, you little shit. You still have my arm, and my finger is feeling a little bit slippery on this trigger. Max takes the call and heads that way. Immediately upon showing up, he hears gunfire and goes straight for it, and so begins another action-filled clusterfuck. Hell yes! The game plays the same, but with some much appreciated changes. Shoot dodging no longer takes meter from your bullet time. It's infinite, and you should absolutely abuse it. Bullet time is just a straight-up superpower now. Slow down time as you kill, you get faster and reload immediately in a very flashy way. The crosshair is actually a crosshair. Yes, you will get spread from continuous fire, but it hits that sweet spot of accuracy that the OG just didn't have. Headshots are an actual option here, and so appreciated. Making explosives a secondary weapon rather than the main weapon was a nice quality of life upgrade. The adaptive difficulty is back, but doesn't seem nearly as punishing. No need for Nerf to make a mod for this one. Painkillers are more plentiful, and enemies regularly drop them. The one complaint I have is that some of the areas are so big, you can catch rounds without having any idea where they're coming from. Some places and encounters made me feel like I was in a firing line of blood coldness. A bit rough, but we manage. Overall, this is a better feeling, faster gun-fu experience. So, Max rushes into the warehouse, only to find fuckery about. After many bullets and bodies, he bumps into an old flame. Mona Sachs, contract killer, sharp dresser, interesting choice in firearms. Afterwards is brought into a conspiracy including his own partner, old friends, and of course the mob. The story here feels much more personal to Max. We're not on a revenge plot, we're looking for answers. Who are the cleaners? Why were they so well armed? Why do they have a hard-on for Max and Mona? Who are they working for? You always feel like you're one step behind, and it's one of my favorite parts of the writing here. That same noir comic feel, just excellent. And again, no spoilers for you. You need to see how it ends. Thoughts? If this was the end of Max's story, I'd be pissed. This game is hard drugs. The extra players in and out of the plot make it feel human, and that by itself is worth its weight in gold. The main complaints I have is the overly large areas enemies can be easily missed and put a slug in your spine. It does feel shorter than the previous game. That's it. I love this game. Alright, Bear. Arm for your victim? Yes, I know you're hungry. But I want my fucking arm back. Also, seriously, where the hell are we? Well, that sounds like bullshit. I'll see you guys back for Max Payne 3. I had better get my arm back, you little shit. See you guys later. And if you made it to the end, do the YouTube stuff. Like, sub, you know the jazz. I appreciate it. Okay, so this contract says not only do I owe you a raise, but you also get Eva as an editing partner, and in return I get to live. Uh-huh. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me get through this review, and I'll make a decision from there. Max Payne 3. End of an era right here. No use delaying, let's get to this. Several years after the fall of Max Payne, nothing really happened. In terms of development history, I really couldn't find much other than a few details. Sam Lake didn't write this one, but instead he and Remedy as a whole acted as consultants to make sure that Rockstar's interpretation of our boy hit that same feeling. Written instead by Dan Houser. It's not bad writing by any stretch, it's just not the same as Sam's. It gives off more of a gritty Hollywood movie vibe, Collateral, Man on Fire, stuff like that. It doesn't give me the old detective comic vibe anymore. Don't get me wrong, it tries. Max still feels like Max, but something just doesn't sit exactly right with how the narrative feels compared to the original games. Again, not bad, different. Now, the thing to actually talk about was the money. Holy shit, did Rockstar put some money behind this game. The largest marketing campaign they had done by that time, TV, internet, retail DLCs, a comic series with Marvel, a special edition, they tossed the bank at this. Was it worth it?
No, sir.
No, not really. Take-Two was pissy about the reception and sales. Reception was...
What have you done with him?
Who are you people?
Game won a few awards, but in the end, was the last time we'd see Max in the series. This is it. The peak. The finale. The greatest gun-fu we have ever gotten to mess with. This game is a highlight of the 7th generation of consoles. Pretty, colorful, yet gritty. The shooting feels great, and the added touches just add the sauce to this perfect dish of entertainment. Precision aiming, because the games always needed an ability for actual accuracy. Taking cover in a firefight just makes sense. Blind firing may have been the...
Dial at the time.
Yes! I brought it back around! All those additions meld with the base gameplay that had been honed over 3 games now. Shoot dodging feels the best here and is good for a laugh every now and again.
'Tis but a scratch.
Bullet time itself slows everything down and seems to absorb some of the incoming damage. Same with shoot dodging. We are stuck to 3 weapons, one in each holster and a 2-handed. It's kind of odd for the series, but it actually adds a little fun picking over corpses for treasure. Also looks pretty badass during a firefight. So if you end up getting gunned down, you have one last chance to pick off the prick who got you. This is Last Man Standing. It's an addition to help with the chaos, but I'm gonna be this guy. I'm not fond of this. Thankfully, there's a difficulty for that. Old school. This is what I'm talking about. Get it done or die. We don't have adaptive difficulty anymore, and I think that's for the best here. Take-Two may have had issues with the sales, but I can say this is the most fun I've had with the entire series. Flying through the air, dodging bullets. The only thing missing is doves flying as we fly. Play this. Do it. 9 years after the fall of Max, he finds himself working private security for a businessman in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Drinking on the job, popping painkillers like Tic Tacs. Our man is on his last legs mentally. You can only deal with so much before you despise life as much as our dude. This is the main point of the story I am fond of, how Max has coped with everything. During a party he's watching, a group of armed men take his boss and bride, killing whoever's in their way. Back to the old grind. This party is good foreshadowing for the events to come. This story is an exercise in Max's sanity, or what's left of it. It gets dark, but it does fit well to the tone the series has been known for. It's not my favorite story in the series, but in terms of a narrative, it's a worthy end to Max's story. As per usual, no spoilers for the story. Play it yourself. Honestly, it's a shame this didn't do better sales-wise. This game should be experienced. Is it the best narrative? No. Is it the best technically? No. Crash is a good bit. Screw you, Rockstar Launcher. But the fun? Holy shit, this is the most fun I've had with a shooter in years. This will be a game I keep installed. Dodging bullets like raindrops, passing judgment one bullet timed leap at a time. So, Remedy in 2022 got an agreement with Rockstar to remake the first 2 games into a single release, and I, for one, am stoked. There's very little news, but it does look like this year they moved the game to full production. We may not have to wait long to see our leather-clad badass come back. As for you, Bear, how's this for an answer, you little fuck? I don't negotiate with terrorists! Is that a grenade? Okay. Fine. I'll sign the contract. Well, I appreciate you guys hanging out while I talk bullshit. It means a lot. Like, share, sub, you know all that shit. So, next time, Battletech Fan asks a very simple question. What the fuck is a Warhammer? Catch you guys later.